I had this problem. I had a lot of wood and it was getting in my way and I didn't want to throw it out. And another thing is I had a lot of time on my hands. I've seen videos of wood being processed and I decided I was going to process my very own pieces. I was going to use these baseboard types that were just collecting dust. And I looked at a couple of options. There's many different ways. There's this one jig that makes strips, very thin strips. I thought about that one, maybe adjusting it. And there's this other one that uses clamps in a very stop-start kind of way. And a lot of other ones use sawhorses or cutting on the ground. And in Minecraft, I just want to collect as many wood pieces as I can so I don't have to worry about that. So I went to something a little bit more familiar, which is 3D printing. And I found this universal fence online and then printed that. Here's some changes I made to the files that helped me. I changed the screw so it wasn't pointing up. I laid it flat and made it a flat bottom by not printing all of it, cutting off it at the bottom. I also changed the line directions so that it wouldn't break as easily and that the important layer with the flat part would be in line and much more bendable than having that be the one with the text on the bottom. If I was to do it again, I'd make it a little bit less wide because it had trouble fitting into the slot I had. Also, I would make it shorter, so I'd go into Blender, cut off that part at the top there because it caused some problems in the future with running into other stuff. The screw actually surprised me that it worked first try. Maybe it's because it wasn't fully filled in, but anyway, it worked. I was happy. Now I tried cutting it on the table and I ran into a little bit more problems. The clamps kept getting in the way and it just didn't really feel right. So one of the suggestions in the videos was you should try it on the ground. As you can imagine, when I moved it to the ground, it didn't go exactly how I planned it. I had to move my wasteboards in different ways to try to make sure it would cut. Even there was this one time where I hit the garage floor and made a couple of sparks. It's fine though, no fire. The simple thing of making sure the spacing was even helped a lot in the making sure I didn't touch the ground again. Because I was cutting thin boards and the fence extended pretty far down, I did have to move the board to the edge of all the wasteboards, and that allowed me to go a little more straight without deviating as much. After about 20 minutes of using the circular saw, I believed my clutch in the circular saw had gotten too hot and was slipping now. After conversing with my uncle, I learned that the nut that tightens it had actually just came loose, and it probably would have worked more and I could have gotten more done, but I was pretty tired of it after that little bit, and so I moved on to the next section, cutting them down into 4-foot sections. You may be wondering, why 4-foot sections? And that's a good question. Next question, please. I made a jig, a really simple one. Basically, I used my waste wood and I attached a block to it and measured out 4 feet and just cut right there. So I was trying to work on my process of making something really repetitive, and I think I did a great job. It did have its failings where at the end, if it was 4 foot or 4 foot 1, 3 foot 11 inches, it was pretty much the same thing because of all the wood shavings that covered up my markings. If I was able to line up a block and cut down that block exactly every time, that's what I think I would do, like with a miter saw. But I wasn't quite understanding how to do that in this situation. I have to clean up so that my mom can put her car in the garage and is happy. I'm going to sort the wood pieces, and what I got was 40 grade B pieces and 10 grade A pieces that I really plan on using. I want to complete the cycle. I want to repurpose this wood That way I don't feel like I've wasted it completely. I still need to make something with it, and I still might need to process more, get some like square edges, basic woodworking stuff,